Welcome back to the Greenhouse Music Podcast.
Best music class you've ever heard. It's the best music class you've ever heard.
It's Miss Delana.
Hey, musical friends. Welcome back to the Greenhouse Music Podcast, the best music class you've ever heard. And I am Miss Delana, and I have a question for you. Have you ever wondered what is actually happening inside your brain when your favorite song comes on? Like, what's going on up there? I mean, I have that question a lot, not just when my favorite song goes on, but pretty much all the time, every day. What is going on up there? Do rocks ever feel bad when we kick them? How did people make the first tools if they didn't have any tools to make the first tools? What is the name of the space that's between the bits that stick out in a comb? Those are the kind of thoughts I have in my head. Well, actually, today, the thought is, why does music make me want to dance? Why does it sometimes make me cry? And why does one song get stuck in my head for 3 to 25 days? And that song is currently Rockin' Robin. Rockin' Robin, tweet, 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 Rockin' Robin, tweet, tweet, blow Rockin' Robin, 'cause we're really gonna rock tonight. I mean, can you blame me? It is pretty catchy. Okay, I'll get back on track. Buckle up, music makers. Here we are today. We're going to do something brand new. We're going to step into the music science laboratory. And I'm going to tell you about some of the strangest, weirdest, most jaw-dropping music experiments scientists have done over the years. I mean, we're going to talk about cows, talking about spider bites. We're talking about 10,000 babies and a governor with a really wild idea. And by the end of this episode, you are going to know things about music that most grown-ups don't even know. Ooh, and isn't that fun? So, let's get started. Okay, before we get too deep and into the weird experiments, I have to tell you something amazing. Something that scientists have figured out in the last few years using big, special machines that take pictures of the brain. Are you ready? When you listen to music, your whole brain lights up. I mean, for real, like a Christmas tree. Your hearing parts, your memory parts, your emotion parts, your movement parts, the parts that recognize patterns, the parts that imagine pictures, all of them at the same time. What's even cooler about this is that most things that you do in a day only use 1 or 2 parts of your brain at a time. Reading uses 1 or 2. Adding numbers uses 1 or 2. Even talking. Well, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I may not use a brain part at all when I'm talking. Anywho, music. Music uses almost all of it. Scientists have a name for this, and they call it the whole brain workout. Now that sounds pretty cool. I don't know about your parents, but I know for me, if I can get a whole brain workout in, does that mean I don't have to go to the gym this week? Just wondering. So, when grown-ups say music is good for your brain, or when I say it, because I know you've probably heard me say it a lot, they're not just being nice. They're not making it up. Your brain is in there doing push-ups and sit-ups and maybe running a mile or so. That's pretty cool. And that's why it also can feel like it's really hard to learn a new instrument, because you're using new things in your brain and you're using a bunch of new things all at once. That's a lot of work for your brain. No wonder it's called a workout. Okay, here comes story number 1. Remember how I mentioned cows? Well, this is real. This is so real. It's so real, it sounds ridiculous, but it's not. Because some scientists at a university in England wondered, do cows like music? I feel like I'd be friends with these scientists. But they actually asked the question, does music affect a cow? So they did an experiment. They went to a dairy farm. They tried playing different kinds of music to cows while the cows were being milked. I'm really curious how that cheese tasted. I mean, I love cheese. And cheese that came from a cow while it listened to music? Well, anyways, here's what they found. When they played fast music, like fast pop music, the cows didn't really care. They just kind of did their cow thing, whatever cow things that cows do are. But when they played slow classical music, like Beethoven, the cows produced 3% more milk. Now that may feel insignificant, but think about it again. When they played fast music, it didn't matter. But playing Beethoven, slow classical music, the cows produced more milk. Right. Beethoven calms cows. The cows like the slow music so much that their bodies relaxed and they made more milk, which means somewhere right now on a farm in the world, a cow is listening to classical music. And that is most likely a fact, probably, right? I mean, did you know that this study has actually been done a few times and in different places? Scientists have tested it out on chickens, on goats, and even on fish. It turns out that actually a lot of animals respond to music, not just us. Whoa. Okay, here's story number 2. And this one is old. Like, we're going way back in time for this. 100 years ago, in a part of southern Italy, people believed something very strange. They believed that if you got bitten by a tarantula spider, a big hairy one, I hate those, ugh, well, there was only one way to cure the bite. And are you ready for it? This was the one way. You had to dance to a special song for hours. I'm not making this up, friends. They believe that the only way to get spider venom out of your body was to sweat it out by dancing. And not just to any music. There's a special, very fast type of song called the tarantella. Tarantella. That kind of sounds similar to tarantula. And whole towns, they would gather around the person who got bitten and play this song over and over and over and over and over and over again. And the person would dance until they collapsed. I imagine that probably didn't take as long as you might think. Now today, doctors know that this isn't actually how spider venom works, but here's the cool part. The music is actually real. The tarantella is still a piece of music that you can listen to today, and today you'll mostly hear the tarantella at Italian weddings, which is actually a pretty big career change if you think about it. One day, the song is carrying spider bites. The next day, you're playing it while Aunt Maria does the chicken dance. Pretty fascinating. I'm sure there's a fun story of how that got there. When you hear it, you'll understand why someone might dance until they fell down. It is fast, and it pulls your feet right out from under you. Here comes story number 3, friends. And this one I love. A few years ago, scientists in Sweden gathered up a choir, like a group of people who all sing together, and they hooked the singers up to little machines that measured their heartbeats. And then they had the choir sing. And listen to this. The longer they sang together, the more their heartbeats started to match up. Their hearts started beating at the same time. Like a choir of singing hearts, all of them syncing up just from singing. And isn't that wild? When people sing together, something inside their bodies just decides to come together too. Whew, that one gives me chills, so I cannot wait to share it. All right, here's another did you know moment that's actually pretty incredible. Scientists have figured out that songs are stored in a really big part, in a special part of the brain, like the deepest, oldest part, older than where we keep the memory of what we ate for breakfast, older than where we keep the memory of names and faces. That means when older people like grandparents start to forget things, sometimes the music is the last thing to go. Even people who can't remember much else still sing every word of a song that they learned when they were 6 years old, which can sometimes mean that that was 90 years ago. And friends, I have to tell you something. This is actually very real for me, and I've seen it in person. My grandma played piano for years and years and years, and that was actually where I got my first piano from. Right now, even though there's some things that her brain has a hard time holding on to, her fingers still remember the songs. She will sit down at the piano, and the music is right there, right where she left it. Okay, not in front of her, but in her brain. The notes that she learned when she was a little girl, they stayed. The notes that she learned as she was singing in church, they stayed. Even if you have a hard time remembering names, or maybe you're kind of like that one fish from that one movie, Dory, where you forget a lot of things. Remember what Dory did remember? What was it? Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. She sang a lot. It's not magic. It's just such a really, really, really cool, deep part of how music impacts our brains. And it's deeper than almost anything else in your brain. All right, music makers, this is now game time. You remember the show, Real or Ridiculous? Well, you know how this works. I'm going to tell you 4 facts about music and the brain. 3 of them are real. 1 of them I absolutely made up. And it is your job to figure out which one is the ridiculous one. So listen carefully. Here I go. Number 1, in 1998, the governor of the state of Georgia got so excited about a study that said Mozart could make babies smarter. So he decided that every newborn baby in Georgia went home from the hospital with a free Mozart CD. All right, you tell me, do you think that's real or ridiculous? Here's number 2. Some doctors today let patients pick their favorite music to listen to before surgery. And listening to that music can calm a person down better than the medicine that sometimes doctors usually give them. Real or ridiculous? Here's number 3. After some people have a stroke and lose the ability to talk, music therapists can help them learn to sing the words first. And then slowly the singing becomes talking. That real or ridiculous? Number 4. The U.S. Army once tested giving soldiers special helmets that played trumpet fanfares directly into their ears to make them run faster across the battlefield. Is that real or ridiculous? Okay, well, the time's up, so make sure you lock in your answers. Which one is the ridiculous one? Drum roll. It is number 4. There were no trumpet helmets, friends. I made that one up. And the other 3, well, those were all true. That Georgia story is real. Every newborn baby leaving the hospital in Georgia in 1998 went home with a free Mozart CD. If you don't know what a CD is, ask your parents. The governor was that convinced music would help. A music company called Sony donated all the CDs, 100,000 of them. 100% a real story. The surgery thing? Real. Hospitals all over the world now let patients bring their own playlist into the operating room. And also, the fun thing, the surgeons usually have their own music being played over the speakers in the operating room to help calm the surgeons down too. All right, that singing after the stroke one, well, that one is one of the most beautiful uses of music in the world. There was a famous American politician named Gabby Giffords who got hurt very, very badly, and she couldn't talk anymore. But music therapists taught her to sing first. And by singing, she eventually got her voice back. And that, friends, is how music is used as medicine. It's all very real. Okay, now it's time for What Am I Listening to This Week? This one has been a little bit interesting because it's all over the place. The school that I work at, there was a music performance this week, and we were working very hard on getting all the music ready. So every single song that they were singing was constantly stuck in my head. That's where I got Rockin' Robin. There is another one that is called Fight Song by Rachel Platten that was stuck in my head. There was Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne. There's so many fun songs that we did. Ray Me was one of them. Anywho, it's been a little all over the place. But there was also one that came to my head when we were talking about this brain talk and when I was doing the research. I went up and pulled a piece of the music that scientists have actually studied because of how it makes people feel. And it's called Adagio for Strings. And it was written by an American composer called Samuel Barber. Adagio. Remember that word? That means slow. So this slow music for strings. Here's why I want you to listen to it. This piece, it builds and builds and builds. And the strings just keep climbing higher and higher and higher like they're walking up a really tall staircase. And then there's this one giant moment near the top where everything kind of bursts open. And here's what scientists know. That movement where it bursts, that is the moment that gives people a lot of goosebumps, like actual little bumps on their arms. Your body responds to it before your brain even understands what's happening. So this week, I want you to find this piece, and maybe I'll give you a little bit of a sneak peek here. But ask a grown-up to help you look up Adagio for Strings by Samuel Barber and listen to it all the way through. Don't skip ahead. Just wait for that moment and see what your body does. You might get goosebumps. You might not. Both are okay. But either way, your brain is just doing something that's really amazing. Okay, if today's episode got you curious about how music affects your brain, I have 2 perfect past episodes for you. First, go back to episode 69. Songs are all full of surprises. That one is all about how music plays tricks on your brains and how some surprises are a part of why music feels so good. And second, episode 86, the secret recipe for spooky sounding songs. That one is the other side of today's coins. Today was about your brain. That episode is about the music, what composers do to the music to make your brain feel a certain way. Together, those 2 episodes go really well with this one. All right, music makers, before you go, I want you to think about something. We learned today that music isn't just for fun. Sometimes music is the strongest medicine in the room. It can help people remember things that they thought they forgot. It can help people speak when they couldn't anymore. It can sync up a whole group of strangers' heartbeats. And it can even calm a cow. Your favorite song is doing more than you think. So here's your creative challenge for the week. I want you to be a music scientist. Pick one song this week, any song, and pay attention to your body when you listen to it. Where do you feel it? In your feet? In your chest? In your head? On your arms? Does it make you want to move? Or does it make you want to sit still? Write it down. You are the experiment and you are the laboratory. And here's my question for you to think about. If you could play one song to someone you loved who was feeling sad, what song would you choose and why? I believe that music inside you matters. And the music you love, that's not a small thing. That's your brain telling you something beautiful. And isn't it really wonderful to share something beautiful with others? That is all for today on the Greenhouse Music Podcast, the best music class you've ever heard. And if you love this episode, please share it with a friend or a teacher or a grandma or a cow. Actually, especially a cow. And if you have a minute, leave us a rating wherever you listen. It helps others music makers out there find us, and it makes my whole week. I always get excited whenever we have new listeners pop up. Until next time, friends, keep listening, keep wondering, and keep making that music. Bye for now. Hey parents, do you want a free worksheet or book or page to go along with the lesson that your kids learned today? Head on over to green.myflowdesk.com/podcast to get our newsletter that will have a new worksheet or lesson to go along with each new episode. That's green.myflowdesk.com/podcast. The link is also available in the podcast description on each episode.